here's a topic that is controversial, might get me into trouble, but I think it's worth talking about. How do Indian men in America do well with women? I will be completely honest. It is a disadvantage to be Indian, unless you're talking to Indian women only, in America. It's 100% a disadvantage. Just, there's a cultural stereotype. Look at the Bobs and Vagana memes, right? The cultural stereotype, Bobs and Vagana, that's not exactly a sexy stereotype. It's making fun of Indian guys being awkward. And I've had a lot of Indian clients who I do boot camps with. And what I found is that Indian guys, partly because of the culture, because of our society in America, they have a feeling that women don't find them attractive. And there's a degree of truth to that. Some women have a bias against Indian men. And so one of the things, being an Indian guy, to be successful, this also applies to really any Asian guy. Part of the key to success is not seeming too foreign, right? So when you look at your style, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, if you seem really foreign, that's going to lower your chances. So if you have a very thick accent, it's going to make things harder. I've seen guys with thick accents have success. I had one boot camp client who actually had a threesome on his second day of the boot camp. Even though he had a thick accent, he was bald, he was 34, he still did that. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is a disadvantage. I will not lie. It is 100% a disadvantage. Being Indian is not going to make things easier, especially with white women and with black women, especially. With Asian women, Indian women, well, it's actually sometimes an advantage. But with black women, white women, I would say it's a notable disadvantage. A lot of those women have a bias, finding Indian and Asian men in general less attractive. But the more you seem foreign, the bigger that disadvantage becomes. So taking classes to make your accent less thick, to sound more like you were raised in America will help. You know the guy who I knew who had the best game? I was actually jealous of this guy. When I was 18 and I had no game, I wished I was this guy. His name was Atish. I doubt he's watching, but if he is, cool guy. He was very charismatic. He was 100% Indian. He had the best game of anyone I ever knew. He did not have a thick accent. He did not look foreign. He dressed like an American, right? So buying clothes from shops that look American, getting your grooming done in a way that looks American is going to help. That's the first thing he did. The second part, he was in good shape. I'd have to look at the statistics, but based on my clients who are Indian, not that many are in very good shape. Being in good shape is going to help. So that's one thing that you can do. Atish was 19. He was 19 years old, and I saw him pull 2 nines, blonde girls, 9s from a club. He wasn't even allowed to go to clubs. He was 19, but he was so charismatic that they let him in the club, and he pulled 2 twins. I was massively jealous of this guy. Let me tell you how jealous I was. He went to an MMA gym, and I was like, maybe MMA, well, he does it, and he's really cool. So maybe if I do what he does, I'll be cool. Which, hey, I mean, it's not the worst logic, but then I joined the MMA gym, and I thought I would start getting bitches too. It didn't work. It didn't hurt. It was still a good thing to do, but this guy was Indian, and he had the best game of any guy I've ever met. I want to be clear. Being Indian is a disadvantage, but there's exceptions to the rule. Part of it is not seeming super foreign. The other part is, what I've noticed, a lot of Indian guys, they have a different mindset about how socialization works. And I'm not entirely sure why this is. I'm being completely honest, I'm not entirely sure why this is, but they tend to have a more logical, transactional mindset about socialization. So they're not trying to be funny and interesting as much. They're not trying to hit the girl on an emotional level. They're trying to impress her more on a logical level. I'm an engineer. I make a lot of money. That's more the mindset. And my guess is it's because India has a caste system. So if you're high in the caste system, most of the people who come to America from India are going to be wealthier back in India, right, from wealthier families. And those families, because you're used to having this automatic value being wealthier, means that you have a different mindset about how socialization should work, and that people automatically are supposed to like you. That's my guess. I'm not sure. That might be completely wrong, but for some reason, that's the main thing Indian guys get wrong. The main thing is they're just logical, stiff, serious, and so may we have the sex now? That's kind of the energy. And the main thing Indian guys can do to do better with women, other than doing their grooming, their style, getting in shape, working on the accent, is focusing more on being entertaining and interesting and charismatic and funny. Focusing on offering value, on making the girl laugh. It's not like a logical, it's not like engineering, right? A lot of Indian guys are engineers. They're very smart, they're very successful, but they have that mathematical mindset towards dating sometimes, and that mindset is too stiff. It doesn't have enough soul. So that's the main thing, is having more soul to your interactions, and your main focus should be, can I make her laugh? Can I make her smile? Can I make her enjoy my presence? And when you do that, there will still be 10 to 20% of women that are just I don't like Indian guys. That's gonna be a thing, 100%. Just like there's maybe a smaller percentage, there's 3 to 5% of women that don't like white guys. It's less common. I mean, I'm not saying being white's a disadvantage, because I know it's not. But there's a certain percentage, there's a small percentage of women that just don't like white guys. It's true. I've had girls say, I don't like white guys when I approach them. You're gonna have a higher percentage, 10 to 20% would be my guess, of women that just don't like Indian guys. But if you work on that offering value, you work on being charismatic and funny, focus on that aspect of your game. Don't worry about what to say and having all the lines and the logical side of it. Work on offering value, work on the vibe. Then you will be very successful. Because when I do boot camps, Indian clients are both the worst clients and the best clients, or one or the other, which is very interesting to me. And I'm not entirely sure why this is, but I've had Indian clients that fucking crush it, because they are very hardworking, they're very smart, fast learners, and when I say something, they do it. Some of them, right? They'll just try anything. And those ones are the ones like the guy I mentioned who had a threesome on the second night. There was another one who pulled 2 girls, Indian client. Sadly, a lot of Indian guys, they work for Amazon, so they can't give me testimonials because they would get canceled, right? Because they have high-level corporate jobs. But this guy pulled 2 girls in one night. And I saw them, and they were both hot. And the way he was able to do that is he listened to everything I said. He was very hardworking, very dedicated, and was willing to try different things. But some Indian clients are the worst clients because they have too big of an ego for some reason. They just think, no, I will only approach 9s, and they need to do that, and they're too serious. Being Indian, I would say in America, yes, it is a disadvantage. But it's not nearly as big of a disadvantage as you would think. And some of my most successful clients have been Indian. It is a disadvantage, but it's not a crippling disadvantage either. Because I've seen Indian guys pull hot girls. I've seen it multiple times. I know it's possible.